Hello and welcome to Paper Play with Julie K. And today I'm here with another episode of No Leftover Paper Scraps. If you guys are just new to my channel or just checking in, every once in a while I do post videos about how I use my leftover paper scraps. I personally have a really hard time throwing out paper scraps because there are so many different things you can do with them. And most of the time I probably show videos on different embellishments that you can make with your paper scraps. And so that is what today's episode is about, is some more embellishments. I did create some heart embellishments. There's nothing new about the heart embellishments. There's a lot of videos out there already on YouTube with heart embellishments, but I decided to share my take on the heart embellishments along with a couple projects that I have used these embellishments on recently. For these embellishments, I did go ahead and use this paper punch. It is a thick punch by Fiskars, and I know a lot of us picked this up at Hobby Lobby when they had the 75% off sale recently. That was when I ended up purchasing this, and I think it was my third go around when I went into Hobby Lobby that I actually picked this one up. It was still on the shelf, and I decided to go ahead and pick it up. But you definitely can make these embellishments just using your heart dies also. And then also on some of the dies, I did go ahead and also use my Sizzix Tim Holtz die, which was called Heartfelt. And I don't know if you can see that, but there's all sorts of different sizes of hearts. So I easily could have used this to create my heart embellishments also. I'm going to share with you some of the heart embellishments that I created with my paper scraps. And then at the end of the video, I will also kind of share how I organized these heart embellishments as I was working on them. And then I will also share with you a couple of projects that I recently used these actual heart embellishments on. So if you're looking for ideas, you can definitely use these on cards. You can use them in your junk journals. You can even use them on like your memory dex cards or your index cards for a couple different ideas. And so here's kind of the first set that I created. This one's just slightly different than the rest of them. But all these I did use some leftover Prima paper that I had. And then the little hearts in the middle, of course, were that Tim Holtz die that I just shared with you guys. And these actually were book pages. I've been trying to use up more of my book pages in some of my projects just because I have a couple books that I gutted to use the actual covers in junk journals. And again, I have a hard time throwing out things, so I've been trying to use some more of those text pages in some of my different projects. All of these hearts, the majority of them, I did use some little tiny flowers. Some of them are wild orchid flowers. Some of them are some Michael's, like $1.50 bin flowers. And so I'll just hold a couple of them up closer to the camera. I'm not going to hold all of them up because you guys kind of get the idea of these. But then the other thing I did was just add some Tim Holtz stickers to them because I have quite a few of those. But of course you can easily, if you don't have the Tim Holtz stickers, you could easily just type them up on the computer and print them off because I've also done that in the past. But as you can kind of see, I layered these with the two hearts. I inked my edges, layered on the stickers, and added the flowers. And my only other little tidbit or advice to people when you do use stickers on projects like this, instead of just sticking my stickers down, I actually glue them onto a piece of cardstock, and then I glue the cardstock onto my little heart embellishment. I have found that over time, stickers do fall off of things. They just don't have the same type of adhesion or glue that actual glue does. So I do go ahead and add just a tiny bit of glue behind each of my stickers. That way I know that my embellishments will last longer and the stickers won't fall off. So that's kind of my little hint to new people out there. When you use your stickers on embellishments or even in your journals, I always go ahead and just add a little bit of glue behind them because then I don't have to worry about them falling off in a year or two. And so those were with those. And this one was just slightly different. I just had some random paper that I cut a heart out of, and then I added the little flat back heart on them, which these embellishments are really fun because you can do all sorts of different things with them. Even though they are small, you can add all sorts of different things to them. Okay, here is another set of little heart embellishments. And again, I used some paper that was left over, I believe, quite a while ago on my channel. I created a loaded envelope that was blue. It was kind of a Parisian themed loaded envelope, and I had some leftover blue pieces, so that's what I created most of these out of. And I'll just pull up some of the little different ones that I have here. Again, the embellishments are fun because you can decorate them kind of any way you want to. So here's a couple different ones. These ones I have a little piece of lace behind them. I added the button, and then this is a little wood piece on it. Kind of the same idea, just put the button in a different area on that one. Here's one where I had a little die cut left over in my stash that said love, so I just went ahead and attached that to the heart, and then I went ahead and added some lace around it just for a little bit different look. This one has the lace and then the little wood piece in the middle. This one was really simple. I just went ahead and added these little bows. At the thrift store, I picked up a package that already had these bows already made in them, and so I've been trying to slowly use them up on different projects, but I thought that was kind of cute and simple. Just adding the little bow to the middle of it. And this was very similar to the first set of embellishments that I showed you, just with the Tim Holtz sticker and the little flower up in the corner. Another similar one, just some different lighter blue paper on that one that I just had extra. Okay, and then real quick, I just wanted to show you how I went ahead and set up my little assembly line for these. A lot of times at night, I sit down and spend time with my husband, and we usually watch TV. And so I'm not one to just sit, so I like to kind of work on things. So often I will take my paper scraps and punch things out while we watch TV. It's just kind of something quick and simple to do. So that's kind of what I have here. And if you open up my little pockets, and this little plastic container was just something I had picked up at the thrift store. It had beads in it, but I took the beads out. But in here, so I just went ahead, because I had this sitting next to me at the couch, so I went ahead and kind of punched out my hearts and organized them a little bit. I do, as my base layer, use chipboard. And instead of going out and buying new chipboard, I just use packaging and use that as my chipboard, because you can easily just go ahead and attach your little image over that, and no one even has to know that it was recycled chipboard from packaging. So I went ahead and cut out a whole bunch of hearts with a chipboard, so I have that going right there. In front of this, I have the ones that I've already glued onto the chipboard, so they're ready to go. They're nice and sturdy, but they're not decorated yet. And then in all these different pockets here, I have kind of some different paper collections. Like this one has a few different paper collections in here. They were all just leftover papers that I had that I thought would make nice heart embellishments. This one came from, I believe, a DCWV pack. Here's kind of some teal ones in here. They're from a couple different paper collections. Some Bo Bunny, some Kaiser Craft, and I can't remember what the other one was. But again, just all leftover pieces. Recently, I made a birthday gift for Sandy, who's Decorate Your Life here on YouTube, and so these were some of the small scraps that were left from her project, and so I just went ahead and cut out some little hearts. They still need to be attached to the chipboard, but it's just kind of nice to have them ready to go. So even if you have one of those days where you don't really feel like crafting, you want to craft but you don't know what you want to do, or you've lost your crafty mojo, I will just sit down and glue these and just get them ready for the next step. And then in this little spot right here, I just have some different little pieces. Sometimes when I pull things out for craft projects and I start cleaning up my desk, I'll have little pieces left over, and I usually have 2 or 3 little bins or baskets on my desk that I throw stuff into. And so when I started creating these, I pulled out some of the stuff that I thought might match, like the pink and the white flowers. There's some beads. And then, like I said, I like to sit at night when I watch TV with my husband and punch out little things. So I do have some small flowers that I punched out of my really tiny paper scraps, and these all match the paper collections that are on here. So these do match. And then, like I said, I've been trying to use up some of my textbook paper. And so I went ahead and die cut out a whole bunch of those small hearts. So they're in this package ready to be added. So I just thought I would share that. It's a great way to keep on crafting while you're watching TV with your husband or your family. And then that way, when you actually sit down and have some time to craft, some of the little busy work is already done. Okay, so now I'm going to share a couple of ways that I actually used my little hearts. And so these ones that you see sitting right now in front of you are actually items that I plan on maybe putting in junk journals, or else I will share them with some of my junk journal friends here on YouTube when I send out Happy Mail. But each of them I actually used some recycled cardboard, which you can see in the background. A couple of them I added some little clips. But right here is the heart. On this one I chose to use one of those flat papers, punch outs right there, instead of one of the Wild Orchid ones. I still had the Tim Holtz sticker on that one, and then behind here I had leftover burlap sitting on my desk, and kind of some leftover snippet laces and stuff that I added on that one. But I'll easily be able to like just glue down like here, and then it becomes an easy tuck spot in your journal. Same idea, just some different layering on this one, different size cardboard. Again, great way to use up cardboard pieces too if you have some of those. And I had all this leftover burlap from a Christmas project, and I had little pieces that I just couldn't throw out. So I've also been trying to use them on some of my little embellishments that I've been making lately. So here's another little tiny tuck spot. This one I actually, instead of having like a flower, I just added a little bow up in the corner, so that one was just a little bit different. And I added this little bit of trim right there too, and this little lace trim right here. This ribbon actually came in some Happy Mail that I got from when I had my No Leftover Scraps challenge from Lisa Goss. She had it like wrapped around something that she had gifted me, and so instead of throwing out that ribbon, I actually saved it and I used it on this project along with some other projects, of course. But it just was really pretty, and I thought it matched well. And so here's the last little tuck spot that I have that I created using the heart embellishment. I also created a couple of memory dex cards with the little heart embellishments. And so here are the three that I created. And so I did have some leftover paper scraps from, if you guys are watching my crafting with Slim card stash, I did create a project using some paper that she had gifted me, but I had some leftover pieces. And so I used those leftover pieces in the background on these for my memory dex card. And then I also kind of dug through all of my die cuts that I've cut that I haven't used on other projects, and kind of added them to this along with the little heart embellishments. So I'll just go ahead and hold up each of the memory dex cards so you can kind of see. So here is one of those hearts that I created. Again, the text paper, and then I used the flat back heart pearl in the middle of it. I have a couple Wild Orchid crafts. There is some eyelash trim, which I do like to use a lot of eyelash trim. So you could easily go ahead like on this one and add eyelash trim behind it. But often I won't do that until I know what I'm actually creating with it. And this time I thought it looked kind of nice to put it behind there, so I did. Behind here I again have some leftover scrap paper, some leftover laces. I do have a bag sitting on my desk of just little ends and pieces or things that have come in Happy Mail that have been wrapped. And so I try and dig through that first before I go ahead and grab other laces and trims from my stash. And so that's what this one happened to be, is just a leftover piece from something else. I had this die cut, it's a Spellbinders die cut left over from some other paper project that I didn't end up using, but it matched really good with this paper, so I went ahead and used it. And then some more flat back pearls up in the corner. So that is the first memory dex card. Here's the second one. Again, here's one of those heart embellishments. This one I did put a wood piece on it, and then one of those flat back pearls that's shaped like a heart in it. I had half a doily left over from some projects, so I added that at the top. And then again, another little banner piece with a Tim Holtz sticker and a couple more of those hearts. This little banner piece again is from Spellbinders, and that actually is one of my favorite dies to use on my scrap paper. If I just have like a piece of paper that's left over that's like an inch wide or so, I will often die cut out this banner die just because I use it quite a bit on some of my different projects. And then I already have them ready to go when I want to create something like this. I already have it cut out and ready to go. And then here is the last little Memory Decks card that I created. Again, that same banner piece, just different paper. Another Tim Holtz sticker on there that says "Listen to your heart." I have the little die cut that says "Love." Again, up in the corner, one of those heart embellishments with the text paper, and then another flat back pearl, and I added the eyelash trim, and there's a little piece of lace there. Thanks guys so much for watching. I hope I inspired you a little bit to use up some of your paper scraps and then go ahead and actually create something with them. So again, I created little heart embellishments that you can definitely use on all sorts of other paper crafts. So thanks everybody for watching. I hope you guys all have a wonderful day and happy crafting.